Welcome back, everyone. Today I got some Flint River. This is some Flint River from Jeff Head, and I think this has been heated to 325. So really not much heat on this piece, this big ball, but I have a point in mind that I want to make, and it's a Hillsborough. I told a buddy of mine that I'd make him a Hillsborough point in trade for a particular rock he had that I liked. And so this is his Hillsborough point that I'm gonna make him. Okay, now in some of the previous videos I used some Flint River that was a little bit better heated, a little bit more glossy. This is, I mean, it's heated, but there's barely any gloss to it, which I like working pieces like this. I don't know about everybody else, but this seems to hold its integrity really easy, so I don't have to fear it breaking on me as much as another piece. Kind of wrap just a little bit over to this edge. Now we want to keep the base pretty wide for Hillsborough points, and we want to narrow this point in real narrow. So that's my goal at the moment, just to narrow this tip in, and you might see a patented overshot flake as we work through this. I like my overshot flakes, and it'll remove some mass very quickly. So be on the lookout. I don't know when I'll do it. There you go. Wasn't quite an overshot, but it reached the other side. Again, we're leaving the base alone at the moment. We want to draw in this edge. We will need to get rid of that cortex at some point, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, setting up a little platform here. And we got a nice ridge to run. Reach the other side, that's good. So we still left the width of the base alone, but this flake went to about right here. Now you can't just strike this hit here, this platform, because there's a dip. So you got to get rid of the dip. It came back to cut me a little bit, that little joker. Now this would make for a good ridge here. You see what I mean? If I were to hit down here, make for a good platform to shoot across right there. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now you gotta isolate the platform. 1, 2, and for good measure, I like to abrade beside the platforms and once more on the platform. So pretty distinct platform. This might shear all the way across. Well, I hit too high on it. This one won't shear all the way across. It'll get about three-fourths. Yeah, 3/4 of the way right here, which is fine. That is a-okay. Now I want to shoot some flakes back up into here. See, our platform is lower than center line. So we're already pretty much good on this front. Now, because we're trying to draw our piece in, I can afford to and would like to go ahead and draw it in and set up even more perfect platforms. So that's what I'm gonna do. Got me a real steep bevel, because why not? Look at that real steep bevel. All right, you don't have to have it that steep on every point you do. There we go. Went to right here. I think I want to hit this flake first. So it overshot a little bit on the base where I didn't want it to. But that is okay, because we still have the width right here. And we had to get rid of this weirdness anyways. Okay, it worked out. This will overshot as well, probably. Not quite. What we can do is make this our tip instead of this right here. Make this our tip. And keep the width of the base. Sounds like a plan. Well, overshot there too. It's still wide enough, it'll be fine. Like I said, I like overshot flakes. Turn that off there. And I have y'all at a different angle. Let me know if you like this angle better or worse than in previous videos. I don't know, the feeling of a good overshot just gives you such joy, as if you accomplished something good. But you want to use it to your advantage as well, not just do it randomly. Okay, go here. Got a good ridge to follow. Pretty. Okay, let's work on this area up here. A little bit grainy in this area, but not terrible. Cut through some of it there. Working it down, working it down. Slowly but surely. All right. Still drawing this tip in. Hillsboroughs have a pretty drawn in tip. So that's what we're gonna do. Is draw this thing in. And the base is plenty wide enough, I think. So you can see I set up a platform, continuous platform, and I just isolated this one. Come on now. There we go. Isolated platform. Another one. Notice those clean flakes go most of the way across. Now I just got to do it here as well. Okay, that'll be fine. Let's see how we want to approach this. Probably draw flakes off this side first. That way, these flakes we already made right here on this last pass here, you don't want to just go ahead and feather them in. I can go ahead and clear this side off and then feather it in. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense to you. Maybe. See, I'm raising this platform up and shooting these flakes so I can just feather in very easily when the time comes. base. Okay, that'll work. I think I'm going to go indirect percussion on this piece just because when the time comes, is I want to make this point really, really nice for my buddy. And I want him to be proud of it. Try to get it nice and thin and pretty flaked. Well, when you make hits like that, you might not need indirect. Go. Okay, we got this side pretty thin. Now let's see about this side of the base here. All right. Draw a couple flakes into here if I can. Get us another popper. Perfect. Setting up a platform here. that I think will work. Hope will work. Yeah. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, I may just stick with direct here. Let's see. Now I still got to remind myself the tip is a bit thicker. Remember, we just got to feather that in. This side's fine, just got to feather this. Let me show that, by the way. Remember those 2 strikes I keep telling you about? 1, 2. Well, we raised up this edge this way so much that not only do we have great flakes here, but all we have to do is just kind of lightly feather in. Instead of it being such a bulky edge, we can just lightly feather that in. So right now I'm just taking my time, thinking about the best way to go about this. As I'm already this far in, I don't want to mess up. I'm sure many of you can sympathize with me there. You get so far in a point and then you mess up. It's never a fun time. Okay, this platform is so built up here. I gotta weaken it. Weaken that platform. So that I can come in here. Looks like there's a crack right there. Yeah, right there. See if we can just get around it and be fine. Okay. There we go. All right. So now the flaking on this side is fine, just fine. Now we just gotta turn the edge and meet all these perfect flakes over here. Flake into there. Now we're drawing it into a tapered tip, so this flat area isn't a big deal right there. Flat area. Got a slight curve we can take back into these flakes we just hit. And that's the roughest part of the material, so we're gonna start there. As this seems to be easy material. We can hit into that all day. But this is a bit tougher. So let's get it out of the way. Another little crack there. I always like to leave a little bit of width there at the tip in case you have to do some adjustments later on. You have the wiggle room to play around a bit. All right, now we're going to set up a couple platforms. Remember, we're still going to get rid of this edge when we flake over here. So let's see. Just going to go one platform at a time here. Okay. Also probably do one there. We'll have to do that one in a minute. There we go. Okay. Another platform here. Now, when it's drawn into the tip, that's where it gets a little fragile. That's where that crack runs in. There we go, just pinch that. And that came off. Maybe one more right here. Got too much going on right here in my leg. Okay, now we're going to hit into here. Yep. Just kind of bevel it with this bopper. This side is pretty clean, so now we got a continuous platform to remove off this face here. Now on this back area, we just need a little bit. Not even going to isolate, just going to flake in there. Now, this is where, you know, I gotta take a minute and make sure everything's good. Make sure we got the good platform we want. kind of wanted 2 platforms there like that. So you got 2 little platforms. I'm gonna braid those platforms. Gonna choose an appropriate bopper. If you need to do another platform on the fly, you can do that. So now we've feathered in to this area. Quite nicely. We still got to draw our tip in, so that's what we're doing here. Okay, smallest bopper here. And really, that's not quite the angle I'm looking for, but we'll see what we got here in a second. Kind of drawing in our shape still, while also trying to get good flakes, good flake scars. And good flake scars just build on older flake scars, generally. So if you lay a good foundation, generally it'll be easier to create good flakes. And Hillsboroughs kind of have a very distinct flaking pattern. So I'm attempting something somewhat similar here in this piece. Gotta braid, gotta braid. Hillsborough is coming in very nicely. Remember, this was our flat area. I just want to just barely run over that. Like that. And the rest of this tip, I think I'm just gonna wait and use pressure for. There's no reason to really try to tempt anything here. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, we got our, push that button, got our preform. For a nice Hillsborough. And I'm gonna sharpen my tools and we'll be right back to finish up this real nice point. All right, we're back. So this is what we're gonna do. We are going to pressure flake the shape of our Hernando. Move my hat backwards. Go ahead and get the shape of this thing out of the way. All right, just working it in. And there's almost like a little fluting nipple that you're left with Hillsborough points. So we're gonna go ahead and start that. So, just kind of pressing this figure into shape is all we're doing. Take about a 1/4 inch from the base and just come in at an angle about yay much. At least it's how I make mine. Now I'm just pressing off till I get the shape I want. Again, don't want to mess up your flakes like I did in the previous video. So be particular with how you remove your flakes. You know, still, you know, that it's below center line now, so moving back over. And at some point I want to try to go up a little bit, kind of like a Noonan. Before I get too deep in there, go ahead and do that. Again, just trying to finesse your way. And I do like a flat copper tip when I'm doing this. It makes it so much easier and quicker. All right, so we're getting there. And at about this stage, I like to switch over to a more normal looking pressure flaker, or stick with this one and just try to be a little more precise. so let's see how we want to do this. So now we just want to draw this in a little bit. Draw a little bit more in. That was a lot more in, but it's fine. There we go. It's about as far in as I want to go. You go in further than you would a typical Noonan, as far as I'm aware. Okay, and now once I get to this stage, I'm gonna bring out this abrader and a lightly abrade, not heavily abrade, but lightly abrade. Get me a nice pressure flaker and just start pressing in. Try to thin out these areas back here. That way it doesn't look like you did it from a slab or nothing. You got it nice and thin. Raise up just a tad. Let's go here, here. Go here. Need to go a little further there. Okay. Back here. Again, we're going for a Hillsborough, not a Noonan. Almost reached for my heavy abrader there. And we still want this to, let's see. This to be a little more rounded right here. I'll show you what I mean. There we go. And then right here. Now we're gonna go here. And gonna go here. And here. I'm gonna tidy it up even more. I get more of a rounded look to it. Sorry guys, when I don't talk, I'm just being extra particular, extra careful. Hope you're able to see this. Is this in frame? I hope it's been in frame. If it's not, I sincerely apologize. Can't really do much to fix that now. What'd you say, Pete? Huh? Again, we're just getting this base fixed up the way we want to. This needs to come up more. See that clear as day. Now, but I couldn't see it earlier. Here's my earbud. Okay. Now let's try to bring this in. So Hillsboroughs are a little different than Noonans, as you can tell. Seems like the stem is a bit smaller, typically, or at least on some of the examples I've seen. All right. Okay, got our base. Like it shows up better like that. And now we just got to send some flakes across the piece and we'll pretty much be done. Let me do this here. I'll taper this in just a tad. Want these pointing more drooping down more than drooping out. Personal preference. Personal preference. Okay, here we go. Get our pressure flaker. The tip is my biggest concern, so I'm definitely starting there. And I want to make sure you see what I'm doing, so. Line this up. It's going to be right dead in the middle. This is where our center line is. our tip to be pretty small. There we go. It's coming together. That wasn't great. Let's see what we got. See if we can catch the little hump here. Ooh, there's another crack. Uh-oh. Oh, we made it. Just barely. Oh, geez. There's another seam just right there. We just did get by that. All right, so you see the tip? See what we're doing there on the tip? One thing about Noonan and Hillsborough culture is their pressure flaking was just incredible. Now, I won't be able to match these perfect pressure flakes down towards the base, but towards the tip, I'm gonna do my very best to match them as best I can. Again, still being very careful, or as careful as I can. Can still do a little more on this side. Perfect. So it'll definitely be one of my nicer points once I finish it up. No doubt. Yeah, that didn't go all the way across, but it'll be okay. Need to just feather in at this point. I'm not going to send pressure flakes all the way across this piece, or at least I don't want to. It's not my style. So I'm going to be very careful as to how I proceed. that one I could afford to take all the way across, or try to. These other ones I'm just gonna feather in. Yep. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. And I appreciate y'all coming along for the journey. You know, I hadn't been posting many of my point makes that I made, so I appreciate the continued encouragement, and I think we're actually about to reach 1,000 of you guys subscribing, so I'm thrilled with that. Just means I'm gonna keep up the good content if I can. Every moment I get some time, I'll have to do that with pressure flaking. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it. Well, my buddy's gonna be happy getting this for free. Little turkey. We did a little trade, but it was a good trade. I think both of us are happy, but man, I'd sure like to keep this one. Once he sees it, he's gonna be like, no, Jake, you can't keep it now. No, you said you'd make me a Hillsborough out of Flint River. The guy I'm talking about is my buddy Louis Garces. Real nice guy. Louis got me into Flint-Knapping a long time ago. So I think if anybody deserves one of my best points like this, it's definitely him. Okay, now let's work on this side. We'll put this down and sharpen up a bit. Okay. This side sharpened up, this side, ugh. Not so much. So let's fix this side here. Notice there are moments where I drive in, and then there are moments where, like this, I drive in, and there are moments where I just kind of press down a little bit. Drive in. There we go. here. Okay. Now I just got to tidy the edges up and we got a finished point here. So let me do just that. This one here. And we are going to finish this point up. Finally. Well, I think my battery died. I don't think it actually did. But we left off at a pretty good spot. I don't think you missed too much. I just finished up the pressure work, the final pressure work on this side of the point. And we just have to pressure flake this side. So that's all that's left. So that is what we're gonna do. Right here, right now. This is generally my favorite part. I know that all the stresses of braking and getting perfect flakes is all over. And now I can focus on symmetry. Symmetry for me is easy. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Some people love notching. I despise it. Oh, I hate it. I mean, it's nice, but the material I work is always finicky. I mean, if I was working different stuff, I'm sure I'd be fine, but I like working difficult stone for some reason. I don't know why, just do. So sometimes it'll break when I notch. This is very little risk. And just doing somewhat of a four-way bevel. You kind of see four-way bevels exaggerated on points like Abbey points. But I love doing a four-way bevel on all my points. It's not necessarily a signature style of mine, but it's something I like to do. Again, I want these more rounded than anything. That does cut a little bit low. Okay. Doing the last little bit of work here before we do a final inspection and be through. I don't know how long it took me to make this one. I have no idea. If I had to guess, like maybe 50 minutes, an hour, a little over an hour. Usually I average around an hour. I don't know, I feel like I was more particular on this point. Could have been more time than I thought. Let's see. There we go. A lot of times you can just abrade the symmetry in there, just like that. Easy peasy. Little tip. Now, this is a bigger size Hillsborough than what you'll see authentically or in an authentic point, but I like making them a little bit bigger anyways, just so you can see kind of the grand beauty of the point itself in bigger detail. You know, some people make Clovises that are humongous. So I just make larger size, authentic looking points. Love the swirl in this piece though. Tidy up the base just a little bit maybe. And we'll be done. Yeah, I'm gonna be jealous of my buddy Lewis who gets this one. This is a nice one. All right. Cut in just a little bit there, I think. Maybe not. Maybe this would be okay. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Okay. Well, that's it, guys. A nice Hillsborough point. I don't know how well you can see it, but anyways. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. Down the scope of it. And the base, a little thicker on the base, but not bad. Well, all right, guys, that's gonna be it. Appreciate it.